Hi, welcome to Physics NGSS. My name is Anna Sky. Um, I am teaching this course, and I wanted to give you a little bit of information about what kinds of things that you can expect this year, the focus for our course, a little bit about our syllabus, and then a general overview of what our Canvas page looks like, which can be helpful to you families in being able to follow along with the course, and also helpful to students if they miss a day of class or just need to review some information that we've done. So as you can see on the screen, I've got my email up here. I really appreciate messages from families. And then I also like to use this program called Remind to send quick messages. These are often things like, hey, we have this assignment coming up, or don't forget about this or that in the class. So if you would like to receive those kinds of messages, you can sign up for it using the code for the class. So, our main goals in physics this year are really to be focusing on skill development. And my hope is that students will develop more of a growth mindset and really understand the importance of the struggle and the importance of the challenge in our work and get over this idea that it's not okay to be wrong. I would much rather see a student really actively engaging and quote unquote messing up than to feel like they can only say the right thing. So one of our big focuses is on skill development, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. While this is not a math heavy course, I really like to focus on looking at graphs and seeing images of data and using that as a way of establishing these patterns that we see in science. And so we do look quite a bit at graphs and looking at how that is what's that is telling us about the physics that we're looking at. Our main practices are both in science, answering questions, as well as in engineering, solving problems. So we'll have a little mix of both in this course. And finally, I want students to walk out of this class really having a sense of how physics and science can affect their lives and seeing that relevance in their daily lives and in their interests or pursuits after high school. This is a very general course sequence. There are four major units. We'll cover the first two in the first semester, and then the second two in the second semester. And what I would just say here is these are some of the general questions and big questions that we are going to be pursuing. And we are also going to have some mini units within here as well. So this is by no means exhaustive. All right, so I was talking about those skills. In this course, we use proficiency grading, and that means that that students get a score between 1 and 4 on an assignment based off of a certain category. So there are 4 different categories of skills that we are practicing: design, analyze, explain, and apply. And you can read here what each of these would entail. And so when we have assignments, we're really focusing in on how are we practicing science, even more than are we really understanding the content knowledge. So there is both of that. Explain is definitely a content knowledge kind of skill, but a lot of this is about generating scientific skills that we can apply across science classes and then also into other subjects such as English, math, social studies, all of that. So, on any given assignment, there are 4 possible grades, anywhere from a DP to an HP, developing to highly proficient. A passing grade is really this proficient or highly proficient. Proficient meaning that you really understand that level at kind of that basic level, and highly proficient is that you've gone above and beyond. I give out lots of close to proficiency, so I don't want that to be a scary grade. What that really means is that you're near that expected understanding, but there's something that is missing or there's something inaccurate. What you do want to be pretty aware of are if you see any DP developing, generally that means that either the assignment was blank or that the student kind of missed the mark on what we meant in the assignment. So it was not relevant to the question being asked. So DP is definitely one to kind of take a second look at, and I really don't want to see any DPs on student work. I won't belabor this slide, but I just wanted to show what an example rubric might look like. So I generally give students a rubric that will show them what it would take to get proficient and what it would take to get highly proficient. And if they don't fall into one of those categories, then they get close to proficient until they can correct that part of the rubric. All right, so you might be wondering, how does all of these DP, CP, PR, HP convert to a letter grade? And at the semester, we do need to convert our grades to letter grades. So I look at your average performance across all of the 4 skills, and each of the um, each of the indicators has a number associated with it. So then you look at the average of how students have done. If you have any questions about how grades are calculated, I am more than happy to go into a more in depth conversation with you. And it can definitely help to take a look at your student synergy and be able to make sense of the number that you see there. So I'd be happy to help you out with that if there's confusion related to that. Okay. I just want to take a quick moment to show you our Canvas page. So when you go into our physics Canvas page, you're going to see this home page. And there's a couple things that are important to note here. First of all, I paste the school schedule on the front page so you can see what's going on each day. There are some helpful Franklin resources here that I didn't create. These are the general resources from the Franklin page. But the way that I organize how I communicate with the class is through these announcements. So we can take a look at last week's announcement. Might not be last week at this point, but last week's announcement. And what you'll see is you can follow what period the student is in and then find out what it is that we're doing each day. Um, so I put all of the links in there that students would need to go to. So a student can just look right at what we did each day. You can also look in the modules and see all of the materials that we are covering in each of the units. If you would like to look more closely at our syllabus, it's right here under course resources. So that's where you can find all of the information that I was just going over. Anyway, I hope that this helps you to get a better sense of how to navigate our class. And I'm really looking forward to teaching physics this year with your students. We've had a really great start so far, and I'm really enjoying everybody that I have met. And so I just really want to thank you, and please feel free to reach out and take care.